Hello there, and this is a cartoon discussion video on my favorite cartoons. I did a discussion of my least favorite cartoons, and now I'm doing a one for my favorite cartoons. Yeah, and the way to start off this off, I'm going to include some cartoons that could categorize as my favorite cartoon. And let's start with Craig of the Creek. Yeah, this show is really fun to watch. You have this pretend fantasy land where all these kids pretend to be fantasy characters. It's kind of like it's kind of like a Final Fantasy kind of like inspiration for this show. Yeah. This show also gives a lot of Ed and Eddie vibes because of the pretend aspect of it. Because when you're a kid, you like make up your own adventures and stuff. Especially since this relates to me mostly because when I was a kid, I was kind of easily entertained. Yeah, I was just entertained, so I played with my toys all day. Most of my childhood was mostly just video games, toys, toy cars, and cartoons most of the time. And I will occasionally ride a bike and stuff. Yeah, that's what the show reminds me of. Just childhood, just childhood like Wonderlands kind of show. Yeah, Kelsey's pretty much my favorite character because she just goes on her inner monologues as she goes through. Just cracks me up every time. Yeah, yeah. Craig, Kelsey, and JP. I mean, JP is a close second because he reminds me of Ed from Ed and Eddie, the silly, goofy oaf character with a heart of gold. Yeah, I forgot what the other character was. This other character who became part of their group. This guy with the arrows and stuff, the fake arrows. I forgot what his name was again. Yeah, because I haven't watched the latest season of Craig of the Creek because they usually don't air reruns as much. And I really haven't caught his name as I was watching it, so they usually don't say his name in the show. So yeah, Craig of the Creek was also one of like the main modern cartoon that I liked on the channel compared to other shows. Yeah. I mean, I did like Jellystone and Tiny Toon University in terms of modern shows, but those are like remakes or reboots of like or new iterations of previous shows. But in terms of originals, this is probably my last original that I liked on Cartoon Network and stuff. Because most of the original Cartoon Network shows are going to Adult Swim now, so yeah. Maybe in the future they'll probably make more Cartoon Network originals. I mean, there was like Cartoon Shorts program that they brought back at the San Diego Comic Con, so hopefully those became series originally, maybe in the future. So that's been my that's Cricket Creek. Of course, the Collie Dog, and this could also be could count as one of my favorite cartoons, but it's probably not it's not my favorite cartoon, but I really love the show. It's just a unique show for what it was. Because usually you don't see cartoons combining both horror and comedy together. The only thing I can think of that combined like horror into animation was that Coraline movie that I really enjoyed. But I'm mostly talking about TV shows, not movies. So yeah, Courage Call Dog is probably it had a lot of heart too towards it. Courage Call Dog had a lot of heart despite the horror elements in towards it. Yeah, it also is very good on the comedy side too, especially during the intro where Eustace scares Courage. Stupid dog, you make me look bad. Baka, baka, baka! Ah, this is really funny, cracks me up every time. Courage himself is also a very lovable character because that's where the heart of the show comes from. I mean, it comes from Mario as well because she's the one that taught him that too. But Courage himself is pretty lovable character too, especially more where the rare times where he actually like trolls people was pretty funny. Yeah, yeah. Also, there was a lot of CGI in the show too, which added to the show even more. The CGI added to the show because, I mean, I guess it helped with the horror element as well, because how dated CGI is. Yeah. Also, it had really bad CGI, so it was purposely bad to make the characters more creepier. You can't. I never forgot the King Ramses episode Return the slab or suffer my curse. Yeah, it's pretty crazy episode. Yeah, and the bad CGI pretty much added towards it. Bad CGI and King Ramses himself. Yeah, there are also there was also CGI episodes where Korra just fully CGI as well. That's pretty cool in the show. Yeah, probably was a very expensive show back then. It's probably why it only lasted 3 seasons. I mean, I guess 3 seasons is a pretty decent run for a cartoon, honestly. You see, like 3 or 4 seasons is a pretty decent run for any show. At least lasted long enough to make an impact. So that's been my on Courage. Regular Show, one of my favorite cartoons ever. But it's not the favorite cartoon that I like. But it's pretty much what I really love about this show is that it was very unique for its time as well. Especially, it represented the fact that Cartoon Network was growing along with its audience. It's one of those shows there's one of those edgier kind of cartoons that came off after Adventure Time. Yeah. The thing that really made me love Regular Show was the execution and concept of the show. It pretty much has the perfect concept for a cartoon. Regular Show ain't anything but, because the show that starts off as normal and then it ends like the world is ending on the same episode. There's chaos and apocalypse and crazy stuff happening in every episode. Yeah, there's never a boring episode of Regular Show. Also the lines that Mordecai and Ruby would say. Oh, now send him the chores next time. Don't let our dinosaurs synchronize our watches. Coffee, monkeys. Mordecai. I think that was the rare 2012 anniversary, 20th anniversary bumper of Cartoon Network that made me laugh all the time. Get out of here. That was pretty funny. Almost every episode ended with chaos and stuff, which just adds to the show even more, made it more unique compared to other shows at the time. Because I know Adventure Time had that kind of concept too, well, a little bit, because at least with Adventure Time it made sense, because Adventure Time is more like a fantasy kind of cartoons, like a fantasy parody show. A regular show is just normal, but in the chaos anyway. Yeah. Regular Show is one of my favorite cartoons ever, but it's not my personal favorite cartoon. I mean, yeah, let's get the elephant out of the room, the girlfriend drama. Yeah, the girlfriend drama between Mordecai, CJ, and Margaret. Yeah, that tore down the quality of an otherwise perfect cartoon, honestly. Yeah, especially during the middle seasons of the show, like season 4 and 5, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Mordecai being a simp and stuff. Mordecai being a simp meme became a thing. Yeah, that's pretty weird. I'll at least say this: Regular Show did redeem itself when it pretty much made Rigby a better character compared to Mordecai, because it redeemed Rigby after he got his high school diploma and stuff. And his later seasons are pretty awesome too. So, yeah. Yeah, so the girlfriend drama was the only thing I had problems with in the show. So since none of the relationships in the Mordecai had ended up have a payoff, I make sure to skip every Mordecai as a simp episode and girlfriend drama episode. I can at least say that Rigby and Eileen ended up becoming a relationship, which is good. Yeah. So Rigby honestly became a better character than Mordecai did. Yeah, so that's been Regular Show. Adventure Time. My other favorite cartoons. I really love Adventure Time, honestly. But since it kind of came out, honestly, when it first came out, I really loved the show, but I didn't want to admit that I did, because I thought the show was a little too weird, because I loved Regular Show more all the time. Yeah, because this was during my edgelord teenage years, so I was allowed to finally watch adult cartoons, and Regular Show was the closest thing to watching an adult cartoon at the time. So yeah, but I still love Adventure Time for what it is, like a Final Fantasy parody, or parody of fantasy shows in general. Yeah, there's also very iconic moments too, and I really love the show. But the thing that really made me love the show was the episodes, the specific episodes. the Food Chain episode, the Card Wars episode, and the Ice Clone and Firewolf episodes. Those are I really connect with those shows because they're very relatable kind of episodes too, especially Card Wars. If you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, especially since Jake in his cornfields, and then Finn with his pig trolling Jake throughout the entire episode. It's pretty funny. Yeah, and Jake losing his mind and stuff. My favorite episode ever. Yeah, this is a show that managed to make this more complicated than Yu-Gi-Oh! And Legends and Dragons and stuff. So I'm actually glad that they turned Card Wars into an actual thing. They turned into an actual game and like actual cards they can play with. I never got into Card Wars because I love the episode, but I never got a single card from Card Wars because I didn't know how to get one at the time. Yeah. Adventure Time also has the perfect concept for a cartoon as well, but it kind of ran into the same problems that regular show kind of had. Well, at least similarly to the girlfriend nonsense. But at least with Adventure Time, Finn taking advantage of Flame Princess did make sense because Finn was young. Yeah, he's not ready for a relationship, so it made sense. Unlike regular show where Mordecai's a grown man, he should know better. Yeah, and Finn only technically had one girlfriend compared to Mordecai and stuff. Yeah, and I guess season 6 wasn't really the best of Adventure Time. It didn't really take advantage of the fantasy aspect of Adventure Time that much. Until like later on, where the show became silly again. I think by the mid season 6 specifically, it show became a little too serious for my liking. It became kind of weird that way until like Adventure Time season 8, I think, or season 7. At the end of season 7, I really started liking the show again, and I really like Adventure Time season Lay and stuff. But unfortunately, I haven't watched Adventure Time Fiona and Cake yet, but just about what I've seen, I really like it. At least from the promos and commercials and stuff. I really would have enjoyed that show if I actually were able to watch, if I actually had HBO Max and stuff. But HBO Max costs too much these days, so no. Ed and Eddie. Hey, this came close to one of my favorite cartoons ever. Just because of its impact that I had as a kid. This is one of the hilarious episodes where, yeah. Hey, the episodes were crazy, honestly. I think this was and this is what the regular show before regular show became a thing, honestly. Or at least Craig the Creek before that show became a thing. Yeah. I really liked this show as a kid, especially since pretty much been around for my entire childhood, honestly. Especially since it's technically the longest running Cartoon Network original, technically. I know there's other shows that lasted longer, like Teen Titans Go, but Teen Titans Go is not a Cartoon Network original. But talking about like originals made by Cartoon Network, this is the longest lasting of 10 years and stuff. And Eddie's Big Picture show pretty much made to become one of my favorite cartoons ever, honestly. But it's not my favorite because it's not the favorite cartoon in terms of my personal favorites because, the later seasons, honestly, because the school episodes. Yeah, the show felt more emptier than actually meant to be in school episodes because they were in school, but they just the same human characters for all of it. It's pretty weird. Yeah. In terms of my favorite moments, especially with Ed and stuff. That dance they had with Jimmy during their party and stuff, that was pretty funny. The episode where Ed gets angry and stuff, starts shouting like "Big Trouble!" That crazy episode, remember that? It's also my favorite episode because you pretty much yell at Sarah, which I enjoyed because Sarah sucks. Also, the reverse psychology episode was also very funny. I mean, if the Carey sisters never appeared after that episode, I probably wouldn't have to be honestly. Yeah, I guess they did technically have to use King sisters for writing purposes, but I didn't like them as a kid. They're pretty much creepy characters. Yeah. Also, the 80s Big Picture show is also one of the best movies on Cartoon Network, honestly. Yeah. I wonder why. If there is going to be a movie block, I wish they aired more of those Cartoon Network original movies, at least. I want to see more about Eddie's Big Picture show, at least. Yeah. So that's with Ed and Eddie. Ninja Turtles, the 2012 version. This is probably my favorite version of the Ninja Turtles, honestly. I mean, I know I grew up with the 2003 series, but I just love this show more. It's more kinkier and more hilarious than the Ninja Turtles 2003 and stuff. The 2003 Ninja Turtles was a little too serious for my liking. Also, Raphael in the 2003 series was too much on that show, honestly. Yeah, he's just too much of a jerk. But the 2012 version pretty much dialed back the characters more to be more relatable compared to most cartoons at the time, especially on Nickelodeon of all places. Yeah, it's very different. It's still out amongst all the shows on Nickelodeon at the time. Because this is a 2012. This is the early 2010s Nickelodeon, which was all the shows almost sucked and stuff. Yeah, instead of this show. I love the theme songs. Turtles in Half Shell, to the power. Leonardo's pretty cool one. And Raphael is also kind of relatable in the show too, because I remember that episode when he's afraid of roaches and they mutated that roach, start chasing them around and stuff. It's pretty funny. Also, Mikey's also kind of funny in the show too. Yeah. I guess you can say the reason why this is not my favorite cartoon ever, even though I really love it, is because there were certain stuff that I didn't really like. Like, for example, Donnie's crush on April. Why did they make this a thing? A total crush on a human. That's pretty weird. I know Donatello's technically a mutant, he's humanoid, but at the same time, it's pretty weird. Yeah, this relationship should never become a thing. Also, Donnie is a massive simp, so that would never work even if he was human. So, yeah, never make this relationship a thing, and they didn't. So that I'm glad they did that, at least. In terms of my favorite character has to be Karai, because based on her backstory and everything, and the fact that she make one heck of an impression, honestly, too. It's a very cool character. Yeah. It's probably one of my favorite girl characters too. Maybe nah. I think I like Sweetie from Tiny Toons University more. Yeah, I like Tiny Toons University. Other than Kelsey too. Yeah. Other than that, I really love the action in the show. And the action is very action-packed on the cartoon too. Kind of reminds me of the Teen Titans from 2003, I think. Yeah, it reminds me of that. Involve the characters, action-packed scenes and stuff. Very fun cartoon to watch too. I binge watched the show a lot on Pluto TV. Yeah, so this was one of my favorite cartoons. This is a show that inspired me to make Karate Bugs, my Karate Bug cartoon series that I have on my Karate Cartoons channel. Yeah, this is a show that inspired it because I binge watched the show a lot on Pluto TV and on Nicktoons as well. Really love this show. The Amazing World of Gumball is also one of my favorite cartoons too. Yeah, especially with all the funny jokes and character moments and meta humor too. I honestly think its meta humor is actually better than Rick and Morty's, honestly. Because at least with meta humor and Gumball, the meta humor is actually based on a joke. Yeah, they basically make jokes out of that meta stuff. So I appreciate it more than Rick and Morty, honestly. Yeah, Rick and Morty's been going downhill since that Picklework episode, honestly. Yeah, and people love Gumball more than you do Rick and Morty, honestly, these days, which I appreciate. Yeah. Other than that, Gumball's very cynical character, which is pretty funny. Makes endless kind of humor and funny stuff. Darwin is the heart of the show too. A nice genius. Richard is also a very funny character too, which loves his wife. Rachel. I think the mom's name is Rachel. I think. Yeah. So. Also, that's very heartwarming moments too, especially with all the parents and grandparents and stuff too. Also, very character dynamics between all the students and stuff too. I think in terms of my favorite characters, I think Banana Joe's my favorite character. Banana Joe is pretty funny. Also, the episode with the hot dog guy, the awkward. Also, the fancy. I think the game. One of my favorite episodes is when they parodied Final Fantasy and RPGs in general. My butt. Pretty funny. Yeah, pretty funny. A lot of meta commentary too, which I appreciate more than Rick and Morty's, honestly. Yeah. So that's been Gumball. Invader Zim. Now this is my favorite This is my favorite cartoon of all time. It's the favorite cartoon ever in terms of my opinion, honestly. This is the show that hooked me on Nicktoons Network back then when I was a kid. Cause Nicktoons Network was one of those channels that all my dad had, because my dad had upgraded cable at the time. It was like Nicktoons Network was a secondary channel compared to Nickelodeon, and this is the show that hooked me on Nicktoons Network on. It's like, man, I binge watched it all the time when I was a kid. And it had a very impact on my childhood too, my sense of humor, honestly. A dark sense of humor that I usually have. Yeah. Also, years later, when I started watching the show again, the content made me laugh as well. This alien that sent to Earth to destroy it, but he's too dumb to do so. And none of the characters take him seriously except for Dib, apparently. Because Dib is just as dumb as he is sometimes. It's pretty funny. Yeah. I think it's Gaz, or is he a Kaz or Gaz? That girl character. It's also one of my favorite characters too, because she's just Mandy from Billy Mandy, honestly, but more funny, more relatable, honestly. Yeah. Various Sims made me look. Various Sims was very funny. Also, Gurr, also a very funny character. I made a booty. Very funny. Very funny character. He just annoys him all the time. Filthy humans. Yeah, this racism towards humans pretty funny. Yeah. The Verism is also a show that's very ahead of its time, honestly. I think it was a little too ahead of its time. I mean, Nicktoons Network pretty much like saved the show, honestly. I mean, before Nicktoons Network became like a dumpster ground for cartoons that weren't doing well on Nickelodeon, Nicktoons Network was pretty much just like Cartoon Network, but Nickelodeon shows. And this is shows that maybe we want to watch Nicktoons Network too. Yeah. That and Ren and Stimpy and stuff. The shows I never heard or seen of yet were on Nicktoons Network at the time. So I didn't grow up with. I was born in the 90s, but I didn't grow up on most of the shows, most of these old cartoons that were on Nickelodeon at the time. Yeah, because I started watching Cartoon Network first and then Nickelodeon. Yeah, and when I heard of Nicktoons Network, I instantly got hooked because of this show. Yeah. I really wish. I do want to see Enter the Fortress at least one of these days, because that's a Nicktoons Network special. I want to see that movie one of these days. I wonder if they had that on DVD or at least on Paramount Plus. At least, I mean, it probably is on Paramount Plus, so maybe I'll check that out at least once in a while. Yeah. Other than that, Versus is my favorite cartoon, especially for its impact on maybe this show. Maybe a cartoon fan in general. Maybe like a cartoon enthusiast, and pretty much inspired me to become an artist too. Yeah, I can say about all these shows that I had in this video too. So, yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and that's it.